Hello viewers, myself Dr. Gagan, Assistant Professor in Department of Rachna-Shari, Bharat Ayurvedic Medical College. Today I am going to give you a brief review about the femur bone. So let's start it. Femur is the longest and the strongest bone of the body and it lies in the region of thigh. So first of all we'll discuss about the site determination of this bone. The first point is, first of all we'll determine what is the upper end and what is the lower end. So upper end is that which bears the rounded head and the lower end is that which is having the two large condyles and it is expanded from side to side. Now the next point is, what is the position of head? The head is directed medially. It should be on the medial side, and if it placed like this then it is on the lateral side. It should be on the medial side. Now the next point, third point, the shaft, the convexity of the shaft is directed forwards. The shaft is convex forwards. So by combining all these 3 points, we can determine this bone is of left side. Now what is wrong in the right side? If we put it on the right side, what happens? The head is on the medial side, it is on the upper side, the lower end which is expanded, it is on the lower side, but the convexity of the shaft which should be forwards, it will go backwards. Clear? So this is the right position. This is a left sided femur. Now next point is anatomical position. How it is placed in the body, that is known as anatomical position. The first point is about the head. We have discussed in the side determination the head is directed medially, but the proper position is the head is directed medially, upwards and forwards. Medially, upwards, slightly and slightly forwards, right? And the next point is the shaft. The shaft is placed obliquely. And how obliquely? Downwards and medially. It can be oblique also like this, but it is oblique downwards and medially, so that the two condyles lies in the same horizontal plane. You can see this is the medial condyle, this is the lateral condyle, but they are not in the same horizontal plane when we place it straight, as the medial condyle is little below the lateral condyle. So it is placed slightly obliquely, so that downwards and medially, obliquely, downwards and medially, so that the two condyles lies in the same horizontal plane. Okay, so let's start about the features. Like any other long bone, this femur bone has upper end, the lower end and the shaft. Upper end has 6 features: the head, the neck, the two trochanters, the greater trochanter, the lesser trochanter. This is the IT line and behind this IT crest. So let's discuss it one by one. First is head. The head is directed medially, upwards and forwards. The second, it forms more than half of a sphere. And the third point is it articulates with the acetabulum of the hip bone to form hip joint. Okay. The next is neck. It's a connection between the head and the shaft. It has 2 borders, the upper border and the lower border, and 2 surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface. And upper border is connecting the head with the greater trochanter and the lower border is connecting the head with the lesser trochanter. And this is the anterior surface and this is posterior surface. Anterior surface is flat and it is entirely intracapsular. Capsule के अंदर होता है. And posterior surface of the neck is concave from side to side, and it a little more than its medial half is intracapsular. The whole of the posterior surface is not intracapsular, only a little more than its medial half is intracapsular. Clear? Now next is the greater trochanter. This is a quadrangular prominence which is situated at the upper end of the junction of neck with the shaft. Okay, and this is the lesser trochanter. It's a conical prominence which is situated at the lower end of the junction of neck with the shaft. So first of all, we'll discuss about the features of the greater trochanter. The greater trochanter has an apex which is intern part. It has an anterior surface which is rough in its lateral part. It has lateral surface which is having an oblique ridge, and it is having a medial surface which is having a rough impression above and a deep trochanteric fossa below. Clear? Now this is the lesser trochanter, and this is the IT line which is connecting the two trochanters anteriorly, and this is the IT crest which is connecting the two trochanters on the posterior side, posteriorly, and it is having a projection a little above its middle, that is known as quadrate tubercle. This quadrate tubercle is having an insertion of quadratus femoris, that is why it is called as quadrate tubercle. Now next is the shaft. So shaft is more or less cylindrical. So for studying the features of the shaft, we will divide the shaft into three parts: the upper 1/3, the middle 1/3 and the lower 1/3. Like this is the shaft, this is the medial side and this is the lateral side. We will divide this into three parts: upper 1/3, middle 1/3 and lower 1/3. We will start with the middle 1/3. The middle 1/3 is having three borders. This is the medial border, this is the lateral border, and there is one sharp border which is known as linea aspera. The sharp posterior border which is known as linea aspera. It is having two lips, the medial lip and the lateral lip. So when we see this linea aspera, this is linea aspera. Okay. Now there are three surfaces. On the anterior side, there will be anterior surface. This is the medial surface and this is lateral surface. Anterior surface, medial surface and lateral surface. So there are three borders and three surfaces in the middle 1/3. The three borders are medial border, lateral border and a posterior border which is known as linea aspera, having two lips, the medial lip and the lateral lip. And the three surfaces, the anterior surface, the medial surface and the lateral surface. Now when we come to the upper 1/3, there are some changes. The two lips of the linea aspera, as it goes upwards, it diverges to enclose an additional posterior surface. Posterior surface. This medial part is known as the spiral line. This is known as spiral line on the medial side. And on the lateral side, this is known as the gluteal tuberosity. Gluteal tuberosity. It is again having two lips, the medial lip and the lateral lip. So in this part, of the upper 1/3, there are four borders. There are four borders: the medial border, the lateral border, the spiral line, and the gluteal tuberosity. And there are four surfaces: anterior surface, medial surface, and lateral surface, and posterior surface. Okay, there is one more surface, that is posterior surface. Now come to the lower 1/3. In the lower 1/3, again the linea aspera diverges to enclose an additional posterior surface, and this posterior surface is known as popliteal surface, as it is nearby to the popliteal fossa. This on the medial side, this diversion is known as medial supracondylar line, medial supracondylar line, and this is known as lateral supracondylar line. So in the lower 1/3, there will be four borders: medial border, lateral border, medial supracondylar line, lateral supracondylar line, and there will be four surfaces: anterior surface, medial surface, lateral surface, and popliteal surface. So this is all about the shaft. We'll cover the shaft by dividing the shaft into three parts: upper 1/3, middle 1/3, and lower 1/3. Now come to the lower end. As you know, the lower end is expanded to form two large condyles. This is the lateral condyle and this is the medial condyle. Okay, the lateral condyle is shorter, but it is more stouter and stronger. And this is the medial condyle. This medial condyle is slightly below the lateral condyle. So this lateral condyle, first we will discuss about the lateral condyle. The lateral condyle is flat laterally and it is having another projection, that is known as lateral epicondyle. Lateral epicondyle. The lateral epicondyle, below the lateral epicondyle there is a groove that is known as popliteal groove, and above to the lateral epicondyle there is one impression that is known as muscular impression. Yes. Now this is the medial condyle. The medial condyle is having another projection that is known as medial epicondyle, and it is having a tubercle at its upper part that is known as adductor tubercle. Okay. Now this is the intercondylar fossa, which is separating the two condyles inferiorly and posteriorly. Inferiorly and posteriorly. This intercondylar fossa is situated on the inferior side and on the posterior side. Okay. So this is all about the features of the femur. Thank you.